on democracy, because it's been receding in the West Africa sub-region with growing threats of violent extremism, which have dominated the conversations in the West Africa sub-region. Well, a former British High Commissioner to Ghana, Nicholas Westcott, is optimistic about the country's future and matters of democratic development. However, the former diplomat in an interview discloses to me that Ghana would have to encourage more people to freely express their views. In recent times, the sub-region has grappled with unconstitutional change of government, but Nicholas Westcott believes that Ghana can safeguard its status as the beacon of democracy by encouraging free speech. If democracy is about legitimacy and the will of the people, should we be encouraging this?
We should be encouraging people to express their views, but there is also, we need to take account of history, that in the past, military governments have not really greatly benefited. It's only when, Africa's economic growth took off in the 1990s, 2000s, which is the same time that there was a trend away from authoritarian governments towards democracy. The two do go together. They're not completely tied. China has achieved massive growth without any democracy. But they have a government that is accountable in some ways through its own different kinds of structures. Each African country has to find its own way of achieving accountable governments and economic growth. And I think throughout Africa, those who are in government, you can call them elites or whatever, need to find ways where they can respond to public views. And in our experience, the greater the transparency of government, the better. Because otherwise it's just too easy to use government to do very nicely for yourself and not so well for your people.
Your projection of the trend in the sub-region. I'm asking this question because of some of the tendencies we've seen from these West African leaders. Macky Sall, for instance, has been criticized in his home region. Same for Cote d'Ivoire, heading in for another elections. And yet all these leaders still want to go beyond the term limits. Is the reason for which the argument has been advanced that let's cap the term limits through the sub-regional body ECOWAS, so as to have a stipulated time within the protocols of the sub-region where a leader cannot serve beyond. Are term limits the way out?
They help, but they're not a magic solution. In Western Europe, Chancellor Merkel governed for 17, 18 years, and remained popular and remained accountable, and that's fine. So they are not a magic solution, but they can help persuade people who might otherwise think, I'm doing very well, everybody loves me, perhaps I should stay a little bit longer.